The rain wasn't falling on Ravenswood, it was drowning it. Elise Vance shoved her hands deep into the pockets of her worn leather jacket, but the wet cold bit right through. She followed the sleek black town car through empty streets near the old Sterling steelworks. The rusted factory frames stuck up like giant ribs against the dark sky. Her brother Ethan's scared voice from last night echoed in her head. Stay away from Silas Thorne, Lisa. He's baiting. He wants you. But Ethan was lost, drowning in fear and drink since whatever happened at the pawn shop last month. Thorne. He was the poison rotting Ravenswood from the inside. Tonight, Elise would shine a light on him. The car stopped near a huge, new building, Thorne Tower, Phase 1. Its shiny walls twisted the dying city's reflection. Thorne stepped out, dry despite the downpour. He saw Elise under a broken streetlight and smiled, still chasing shadows. Elise, his smooth voice felt like bugs crawling on her skin. Come to blame me for your brother's troubles, or maybe just admire his lookalike sister. Stop talking, Thorne. Elise snapped, stepping closer. Rain plastered her dark hair to her face. I see you, buying up the city's corpse, but you won't stop circling Ethan, or me. She saw security cameras turning like insect eyes above the tower door. Thorne laughed, a dry sound lost in the rain. So suspicious. Maybe I should call Detective Miller. Reporter stalker. Elise flinched. Miller ran the pawnshop case, but held his gaze. Thorne's smile turned sharp, showing white teeth. Relax, just grabbing some cash, then off to sunnier places. Want to come? Drinks on the beach. His offer felt like poison. I'm going to see Luna, Elise said flatly, to say sorry for missing her mother's funeral. Luna was Ethan's only friend. His anger. Thorne's smirk stayed. Luna, poor girl, heavy burden, those kids. She's not home. He watched Elise's eyes flicker with worrying. Took them to see a rich old lady, Mrs. Abernathy. I helped arrange it. Told her a touching story. Truth, shaped right, works wonders. He leaned close, smelling of cigars and something sharp. Especially truths told in the dark. Elise's jaw clenched. Thorne, knowing Luna's moves, felt dirty. I'll go anyway. Pay my respects. Thorne's smile vanished. His eyes turned cold. Still playing cop. Or is it guilt? You blame me because you haven't asked Ethan the hard questions about his wild ideas, the ones he poured into Luna's ear like poison. He saw her go pale. Oh yes, thin walls. Your brother didn't just think about crossing a line, Elise. He smashed it, twice, with an axe. I know where he hid the things he took from the Lucky Charm pawn shop. Play nice, or watch him break. The cops won't be kind to a killer. The threat hung thick in the air. Fear gripped Elise, but the thought of Ethan locked up pushed her forward. Lead on, she said, her voice tight. But I'm not scared of you. He gave a short, ugly laugh. Brave words. He took her into the cold, bright lobby of Thorne Tower. A big guard, Briggs, nodded at Thorne, his eyes sliding over Elise. The elevator ride-up was silent. Luna's door was dark. The old neighbor said she'd left hours ago. Thorne led Elise into his own place. It wasn't a home, it was a showroom for money. Cold marble floors, sharp, costly furniture. A wall of windows showed the store meeting Ravenswood below. Thorne knelt by a painting, pressed a hidden spot. Under wall panel slid open. A steel safe gleamed inside, full of money papers. Safety, freedom, he said, locking it. Sure about that cab? Sun, sand, forget, go to hell, Elise whispered. The rich emptiness choked her. She ran, the elevator dropping fast. Disgust filled her. Trusting Thorne was stupid. The cold rain outside felt clean. Behind her, unseen, Thorne watched from the lobby window as his cab left. He didn't get in. He just watched Elise vanish into the rain. A slow, satisfied smile spreading before he slipped back into his tower's shadows. Elise walked blindly. Ravenswood felt like a trap closing. Rusty bridges, closed shops, the smell of wet rot. Thorne was playing a game with Ethan as the piece. Her brother's scared eyes, his crazy talk about special men doing bad things for a reason. It pointed to something terrible, something Thorne knew. She crossed the Mercy Bridge, head down, heart heavy. She didn't see the figure until they almost passed. Ethan, he walked like a ghost, eyes empty, clothes hanging loose. Elise opened her mouth to call out, but froze. Movement. Silas Thorne stepped from a wet alley near the old East End market. He saw Ethan, then his sharp eyes snapped to Elise. He pressed a gloved finger to his lips, a silent warning that felt like ice, then jerked his head towards a side street full of dumpsters. His eyes locked onto hers. Follow now, away from him. Every instinct screamed danger, but the look in Thorne's eyes was urgent. It was about Ethan, lost on the bridge. Heart pounding, Elise waited until Ethan shuffled past. Then, praying silently, she slipped into the shadows and followed Thorne. He led her to a dirty steel door in an alcove, not the main entrance. A keycard buzzed it open. A dim service hallway smelled of old grease. The service elevator groaned upwards. Had to lose your brother, Thorne murmured, all earlier charm gone. His face was tense. The light flickered. He suspects something. My letter. He meant the note hinting at Ethan's burden. They entered a dusty hallway with identical doors. Thorne stopped at one with a scuff mark. Another keycard. Not the penthouse. More quiet. Inside was cold and unused. Furniture covered in sheets. It smelled of dust and metal. Talk here, Elise said, staying near the door. Thorne shook his head. Not here. And we need a witness. Luna. Luna. Elise's blood turned cold. Why? Everything, Thorne said softly. She knows the truth, Ethan whispered. His confession, written down. And he paused, letting it sink in. Can bury it, or shout it out. Along with where he hid the things he took. He stepped closer, his whisper crawling into her ears. Your brother didn't just cross a line, he destroyed it. Twice, with an axe. I know where he hid the bloody things he stole. Cooperate, or watch him drown. The threat hung in the dusty air. Elise felt trapped, the tower pressing down. But Ethan's fate chained her. Lead, she said, her voice thin. But I'm not afraid. He gave a short, ugly laugh. Brave in the beast's belly, he led her through empty rooms into his own space, then to a heavy, locked door. My listening post, he said, unlocking it. Inside, a chair was pushed against the wall shared with Luna's apartment. A dirty glass sat on the seat. Thin walls, Thorne said, tapping it. I heard everything, every ugly detail. The screams, the axe. Elise recoiled. Sick, you spied on his pain. Knowledge is power, Thorne said, leading her back to a dusty table. He leaned in the doorway. The silence was total, thick and suffocating. They were utterly alone. Fear fought with pride, but Ethan's face won. She pulled Thorne's crumpled letter from her pocket and slammed it on the table. Explain this. Your lies about Ethan. Thorne watched her. You came alone, brave. He stepped closer. The whispers are true. Irina Petrova and her sister, butchered with an axe. He hid the stuff under a stone by the old wharf. Luna heard him cry it out. She's the only one. Besides me. Another step. And now you. Elise's world spun. No. Ethan's smart. He's kind. Smart minds break, Thorne said, his voice low and pulling. Especially poor, proud ones poisoned by big ideas. He thought he was special. Like Caesar. Like me. A cold smile. He believed his mind let him break rules. Remove problems. He tested it. Thorne's eyes drilled into hers. He swung the axe. Silenced witnesses to his new self. Ice filled Elise's chest. He has no guilt. Guilt. Thorne laughed. A stone-on-stone sound. It's chaos in men like us. Ethan thought his act was needed. A step up. But he wasn't strong enough. The lie is eating him alive. That's the rot you smell. Memories hit Elise. Ethan arguing about special men years ago. I need Luna. Now. She turned but stumbled. Black spots danced. Thorne caught her elbow, guiding her to a chair. Luna's gone 4 hours, he said, suddenly gentle. He gave her water. She gulped it. You're lying, she choked. As Elise caught her breath, Thorne crouched before her, his usual mask gone. His eyes burned. He can be saved, he insisted. Urgent. I have fake papers, money hidden. He could vanish. Tonight. Start fresh far away. South America. Asia. Make up for it. He waved towards the window. It's possible. With me. Elise pushed up, desperate to leave. She lunged for the door back to his main apartment. The only way out. The handle wouldn't turn. Locked. Open it. Panic edged her voice. Thorne sat on the dusty table, looking relaxed. Scream all you want. This floor is empty. Soundproof. Very quiet. His eyes locked onto hers, burning hotter. If you run to Ethan Wild, you'll ruin him. He's watched. Your panic could push him into the river, or to Miller. Sit. Think. How do we really help him? He stood, closing the gap. The air crackled. He smelled of dust, rain, and strong cologne. Everything, he breathed, his voice thick with a raw, scary need. Everything is you, Elise, don't you see? He took another step. His hand rose, shaking, near the wet edge of her jacket. I am hopelessly in love with you. The words hung, ugly and heavy. Let me save your brother. Let me be yours. Anything. Just let me touch you, please. His voice cracked. Just the edge. Let me kiss it. The change from snake to beggar was terrifying. Wrong. Elise slammed back against the locked door. Open it, you monster. Thorne's face hardened instantly. The snake was back, cold and sure. Keys lost. No one hears you scream. He stepped closer. Think smart. If something happened here, who would believe you? A woman in a rich man's soundproof place at night. Looks like you wanted it, or went crazy. His smile was ice. Even if you blamed me to save Ethan, your story would crack. They'd suspect you helping him hide. Get in the way. Sacrifice for sacrifice. Fair. Save Ethan. Take my love. I'll be your slave. You disgusting worm. Elise spat, backing up. Her legs hit a small, heavy iron table. She grabbed it, holding it like a shield. Thorne sighed, like she was boring him, still clinging to good. Life's messy, bloody. Give in. For Ethan. He stepped forward. Elise moved fast, not back, but towards her jacket on a chair. Her hand dove into a hidden pocket and came out clutching a small, shiny revolver, a .38 snub nose. She cocked it. The click screamed in the silence. She aimed it at Thorne's chest, laying it on the table between them, finger near the trigger. Don't move. Thorne froze, shocked. Then, he recognized it. A slow, dark smile touched his lips. Martha's little gun, my dead wife's, from shooting lessons. Funny. He took a step forward, ignoring the gun, planning to add to the family body count. Did you poison Martha too? For me, he mocked, watching her. I never wanted you. Elise hissed, the gun steady. She remembered the whispers about Martha's sudden death. I hated you then, I hate you now. Step again, I shoot. Thorne looked at her, the fire in her eyes, the steady gun. He saw the scary will to hurt. He smiled, a real, admiring curve that was worse than anger. Then do it. Prove you're tougher than Ethan. Prove you are special. He stepped forward. Bang! The roar was huge, shaking the room. Flame spat. Elise jerked back from the kick. Thorne stumbled, surprised. A thin red line opened above his left temple. Blood welled, bright and wet, sliding down his cheek to his white collar. He touched it, looked at the red on his fingers. He pulled a white silk handkerchief from his pocket, pressed it to the cut. Eyes locked on Elise. Close, he said. Commas talking about the rain. Grazed me. Warning. He took another step, 2 paces away, the silk turning red. Try again. Aim for the heart, or the head. Finish what he started. Become what he couldn't. Terror and rage fought inside Elise. She steadied the gun, aimed at his chest, and squeezed. Click. Nothing. A dead, hollow sound. Thorne's smile widened, cold and winning. Ah, the misfire. Rushed loading that one, didn't you? He took the last step, right in front of her, blood dripping. He smelled of iron and gunpowder and cologne. Reload, he whispered, his breath hot on her face. His eyes dared her, begged her, do it right, take your time, then shoot me, center mass, I'm waiting. He spread his arms, an open target, a dark saint. Elise stared into his endless eyes, at the blood on his face, at his terrible stillness. He wasn't scared, he wanted this, the gun, her fight, her violence. It was all part of his twisted game. The awful truth washed over her. Even with the gun, his dark will beat her. The revolver wasn't power, it was just another trap. A ragged sob tore from her, not fear, but beat and despair. With a cry of rage and defeat, she threw the gun away. It clattered across the floor near the rainy window. Silence fell, thick and heavy. Thorne looked at the gun, then at Elise. Relief washed over his face, deep and strange, like stepping back from a cliff. He stepped close. His hand, shockingly gentle, touched her waist. Elise didn't fight. She stood frozen, trembling, waiting for the price. He leaned close, lips near her ear. His voice was raw, stripped bare, shaking with a terrible need. Elise, is there, could there ever be, any love for me? In your heart? She turned her head slowly. Her eyes, wide with leftover fear, were hard as stone. Her voice was low, calm, and final. Never. The word hung, heavy as a judge's hammer. Thorne stared, searching for any doubt, any hidden feeling. He found none, only cold truth. A deep stillness took him. He let go of her waist. He turned slowly to the rainy window, back to her. His shoulders dipped slightly. Minutes crawled by, filled only by the drumming rain and Elise's pounding heart. The room held ghosts, threats, confessions, the gunshot, the smell of blood. Without turning, Thorne reached into his pocket. He pulled out an old brass key. He placed it silently on the dusty table beside his unopened letter. His voice was flat, empty, but final. Go, now. Elise didn't wait. She grabbed the key, cold in her hand, fumbled with the deadbolt, and yanked the door open. She didn't look back. She ran through Thorne's quiet rooms, out the main door, her running steps lost in the storm, and the tower's hum. Silas Thorne stayed at the window. 5 minutes. 10. The city lights smeared through the rain. Slowly, he turned. His face, lit by a distant emergency light, was changed. The sharp mask was gone. Only emptiness was left, deep and dark as space. A weak, crooked smile touched his lips, a grin of loss, or some dark joke only he knew. He pulled the bloody handkerchief from his temple. He looked at the red stain, then tossed the silk aside. It fell like a dead flag. His eyes found the gun Elise threw down. He walked over, picked it up. It felt small now, unimportant. He opened the cylinder. The shiny bullet sat beside one used shell. He snapped it shut. Without a word, without a glance back at the room holding echoes of pain and defeat, Silas Thorne put the gun in his pocket. He picked up his hat from the dusty table, placed it carefully on his head, hiding the bloody cut, and walked out. The door swung open behind him, showing the dark, empty space. Downstairs, the night guard, Hank, looked up from his book. Late night, Mr. Thorne. Bad storm. He saw the dark smear above Thorne's temple. Heck, sir, you're bleeding. Thorne stopped. He touched the cut, looked at the fresh red on his fingers, then at Hank. His face was far away, just a scratch. Hank met some tough truth. He gave a faint smile, but it was dead. Going to the islands. Need air. He pulled his hat lower. He walked out into the pouring rain, not towards the waiting town car, but turned sharp left, vanishing into the wet, back alleys near the ruined East End market, away from the airport, away from the light. Hank watched him go, uneasy. Mr. Thorne looked hollow, like something important got ripped out. And the blood? Hank shook his head. A chill ran down his back. Rich people. Weird. Sometimes real scary. 3 days later, Ravenswood buzzed. Not about the old pawnshop murders. About Silas Thorne. His private jet, heading for Grand Cayman, vanished from the sky somewhere over the dark Atlantic, east of Bermuda. Search planes found nothing. No wreck, no signal. Just gone. Swallowed by the sea. The cops looked at Thorne Tower. His fancy top floor was clean, but the locked room on the lower floor, the one reached through the empty, dusty place, told a darker tale. They found the chair pushed against the thin wall to Luna's place. They found the dirty glass, Thorne's letter to Elise, the brass key. They found small blood spots near the window, like a graze, and an empty point. 3/8 shells under a table. One shell was fired, the other just dented. A misfire. Elise Vance was questioned hard, pale but calm. She said she went to Thorne worried about Ethan and his wild talk. She said Thorne locked her in, got scary, made moves. She threw a heavy thing at him explaining the cut, grabbed the key when he dropped it, and ran. She said nothing about a gun. Door logs and keycards backed her story. Ethan Vance, found broken in Luna's place holding a scribbled, tear-soaked confession about the axe murders, was sent to a locked hospital, to sick for trial. Luna said Ethan confessed to her, but swore she never told Thorne. The case froze. Accident, suicide made to look like vanishing. Did the sister do it? Elise's story held. The struggle signs, the spying setup, Thorne's bad reputation. It all fits something evil happening in that quiet room. But Silas Thorne was gone into the ocean, taking the real truth with him. Only Elise knew the weight of the revolver she buried deep in the stinking mud under the Mersey Bridge that night. Only she remembered the terrible emptiness in his eyes when she said never, and only she felt the cold certainty. Silas Thorne never got on that plane. She'd seen him walk, not towards escape, but deeper into Ravenswood's rotten heart, towards the churning Black River, towards the city's hidden dark places. The ocean was a good grave for the news, but Elise knew monsters didn't drown. They changed their skin. They hid in the shadows they made. They just found deeper, darker water to swim in, and the 2 shiny bullets in her buried gun. They felt less like unused shots, and more like a debt unpaid, waiting in the cold, wet ground. A warning that the devil of Ravenswood wasn't gone. He was just planning his next move from the unseen dark, and his game was still being played. The city waited under the endless rain, listening for the next bad thing to fall.